Okay, Andrew Morgan here, Political Trance. I had done a live stream from my laptop yesterday, and I made mention of an incident that I had with a Secret Service agent in Austin a long time ago in my former life when I was a drug addict. It was a pretty funny incident, so I'm going to tell you what happened. My friend William and I were riding along, and in the back seat with us was his cousin Harold. Harold was the one who carried our small quantities of smokable herbs. Yeah. And so my friend William was hitting the last hit off of our joint that we had just shared. And it's the only one that we had in the vehicle except for what Harold had on his person. And my friend William was sitting in the passenger seat. We were pulling up at the light right next to the Salvation Army like we did hundreds and hundreds of times, and go up and turn left and go down to the bank shot. It's now known as the BS. It's what's the name of it? I don't remember the name of it now, but it's BS is the abbreviation. And so my friend William looked over to the car sitting next to us at the red light, which happened to be a red car, and did this. Smoked the last hit off of that roach, and while he was looking at the guy, went and ate it. I didn't think nothing of it. Well, I took off, and then a building's distance away, the Salvation Army building, the next block, I was about to turn left, and sorry, I'm having to navigate traffic here. I was about to turn left, and all of a sudden I saw this car come around and nudging me over, and caused me to go into the oncoming lane. And then whenever I turned, I kind of ignored him, and I went out ahead of him just a little bit, and he come around to the driver's side and raced up next to me and rolled his window down and said, "You, pull over." And then he pointed at my friend William. He said, after we pulled over, after I stopped, he said, "You, get out of the car." And then he pointed at my friend William and said, You come out behind him." Okay. So I got out of the car. William got out. He got out of his car. He had already called APD. So APD was rolling in, 1 unit, 2 units, 3 units at this time. And so they got out of their cars, and they were standing on the sidewalk. And this Secret Service agent came out, and he asked for my driver's license. Well, I had my driver's license, but I hadn't renewed it in like 5 years. And so I gave it to him. And my friend William gave him his ID. And so he saw Harold sitting in the back seat, and he told Harold to get out and stand over on the sidewalk next to the cops, APD. So he did. He got out and he went over there, and he stood in line shoulder to shoulder like with all the cops and all these, we had this panel of cops and Harold watching the show. And so William and I were standing kind of behind the vehicle, and so this Secret Service agent went into my car, and he didn't ask me if you're searching or anything. I didn't say anything. I knew. I kept the car clean. We were dealing at the time, right? So I knew that there was nothing in that car. Absolutely knew it. So it didn't bother me, unless he was going to plant something on me, and that didn't dawn on me either. So I didn't worry about it. And he's looking through. He looked through the ashtrays. He looked in the cracks. He looked in the crevices. He got out. He was red in the face. And he went around my trunk. My trunk's lock was gone. It was just a hole there. And he said, "Open the trunk." I said, "Sure." And I reached in my pocket and pulled out my pocket knife. I went like that, right in front of his face. And then I bent down and I stuck it in the hole, and I opened up the trunk. Folded my pocket knife up and put it back in my pocket. And so, lo and behold, right there in plain view is William's backpack, and the pocket open. The end pocket was wide open. And laying in that pocket was one rig, one hypodermic syringe. It was actually a U-100, I think. and a spoon. And the Secret Service agent was right up next to the back of my car. I was right up behind him looking over his shoulder. William was right up behind him to the right of his right shoulder. And he didn't know that I was crowded so close to him. But I was right at him. And he pointed and he said, "Whose is that?" William said, "Well, that's my sister's. She's a diabetic." And he said, "I thought you said you didn't know whose it was." And I crowded and touched him. I said, "I didn't hear him say that," right there in his ear. And he jumped. He's like, flinched like this. And he looked at me. He looked at William. Williams goes, "You can have it tested. It's been bleached." And he got really, really red in the face. He got as red in the face as this record button I'm looking at here. Or that red light flashing. You can't see it. But anyway, he took the license and he handed my license to me, and he said, you get your license renewed. And he gave William's license and said, "And you keep your joints at home." And he got in his car. He was embarrassed. And he got in his car and took off. Well, all this long while that was happening, Harold was over there beside those cops, reaching down into his socks and pulled out 10 dime bags of some of the most high-powered Sensimilla pot that you could ever smoke, and threw them behind him. And then so it was over, and the cops, kind of giggling, they went to their cars and took off. Harold went walking down toward the bank shot. And so William and I got back in the car and drove the car just half a block down to the bank shop and parked. And as soon as I got out, I called my runner over and I said, "Hey, go right up there where we were and get those 10 dime bags right now." And so he went up there and got them and brought them back to me. That's back in the day. That's not me anymore. Today, I'm a grateful believer in Jesus Christ. I celebrate recovery from drugs and alcohol, nicotine, childhood sexual abuse, and pornography. Yeah, I'm free of that. The old man is gone, and the new man's here. And so I'm transparent. I like to help others, and through transparency and me being able to break my own anonymity and talk about my past, I'm able to, I'm empowered, and I help people because of that. God never wastes a hurt. So today I'm also a First Amendment auditor, new and up and coming. You have some really neat things in store because I want to bring love to the auditing aspect. I also want to bring kingdom authority. And so whenever there's somebody that's trying to trample on the protections that my ancestors paid their blood for you to have your freedoms, your constitutionally protected rights, then I'm going to make sure that that's done. At the same time, I'm hoping to be able to do it with such a presence to where I can share the gospel of Christ and His saving grace. I used to be Skeletor. I did so many drugs. The only drug I haven't done is heroin. I've done every other drug. The only one I haven't done is heroin. I guess the reason I didn't do heroin was because when I was little, I saw all the different TV shows that showed how bad the withdrawals was from heroin. I was like, nope, that's not going to happen to me. Kill me with something else, but I'm not going to go through those withdrawals like that. And so I never did do heroin. So anyway, a little bit about me. Now that you know a little bit of my background and where I come from, and I've also let you know who I am. I'm a child of the King. I'm a royal priesthood, a chosen nation. I'm the head, not the tail. And my message to you is, in this First Amendment auditing thing, when you're walking on terra firma in the United States of America, and you were naturally born here, or you were naturalized, either way, you too are a king and a priest. You're a royal priesthood. You're a chosen nation. You're the head, not the tail. You are the boss of the nation concerning the limited government. And so we've got to get back to that. We have to get our limited government back under control. 9 minutes, 58 seconds. Andrew Morgan, Political Trance. Subscribe, like, share, and let's look forward to some really cool audits coming up. God bless. Bye for now.